So welcome to everyone. You guys might be wondering where my cohort is, Hal. He is actually on the line, has been really under the weather this week. I've never seen him feeling so bad. And in fact, I think that's probably a good place to start, because when I was thinking about this call, Jenny really set it up. She set it up by talking about polarity. And if you guys remember, she talked about everything has a positive and a negative. Do you remember that? Okay. And because of that, we have an option when we're in this kind of business where you really don't go to a building to work. You are the building yourself. And you have an opportunity to really look at the positive or the negative side of everything. And so when Hal started getting sick, it was just like he was down for the count, really couldn't do much. I mean, he just had fever. And so one of the things that we started doing was just walking our little circle in our neighborhood. And we've met 4 people on that walk, so we've already had positive things come out of his infirmary, if you will. So that was kind of the positive out of the negative. And so I wanted to kind of mention that. But I think that in this type of business, the biggest mistake that I have made in my last 15 years is when I allow external situations to impact my mood, my attitude, and my activity level. And this week, things came up that distracted us. And I want to just kind of talk about it, because some of you guys have texted me, and some of those were really big issues. Number one, Glow had delayed shipments. And that was really a big deal. Some of us placed our order a month ago and still don't have Glow. It's not my fault. It's not y'all's fault. It's just one of those things. But, I've had fielded a lot of questions on Team Unlimited. I fielded a lot of texts, people saying everything from, Stephen doesn't have enough money. So he's just using our money to order product, which is definitely negative, but I understand that. And so one of the things that, we have to understand in this type of business is that we have a choice every single day as to what we focus on. And if I had allowed that to really detract me and my activity and my attitude, we would have just really stopped working. And when you stop working, you stop momentum. And none of us can afford to do that. And so here's another thing that happened this week. The back office volume, there's some kind of problem with it. So those of us who track our volume every day, since Wednesday or so, we've not been able to check our volume. We contact support, we contact IT. This is a small company. It can take time in order to make those kind of improvements. But again, a distraction that when coupled on Glow's delay, you got this, it's very easy to get into that negative mindset. And just to say, if this company is not perfect, I don't want to represent it anymore. And so one of the things I really wanted to do was talk about this polarity and the fact that when you're doing this, especially when you're doing it full-time, and there's a million things that happen in a day. And, with Hal and I, we're communicating with a lot of our team. You have the ability to really choose what you're focusing on. And so those who succeed are those that can weather the gaps, the errors, and the downside of what we call pioneering, because that's what Zalise is doing right now. It is pioneering in its infancy. I've lived through now 4 years of product launches. There's always something that happens that is a glitch. And, we just have to kind of expect it. We have to allow time to go by so that we can catch up for those kind of things and do the very best we can to try to help our ambassadors to get through it. And so what I want to do is I want to give some shout outs, because there are people who, despite the distractions and despite the gaps, were incredibly productive this week. And so we're kind of going in reverse order. I wanted to shout out just this last call. We had like 8 people from our team that spoke up and showed great interest and traction with Jenny's call. Susan Everett, and I took notes on this. Sherry DeZern, Julia Baker, Debbie Ray, Angie Hawkins. Did I miss anybody on that? Did anybody else speak that I didn't write down? I mean, that's a really big deal because we only have one call like that a week. And so the fact that you guys have, I've always been taught that when somebody is presenting and there's no questions asked, then it doesn't really show a lot of interest. So I was really proud of you guys on that. And then Susan Everett, I saw your live that you did this week. Great job on that. Jeanette Crawford, you did an event and a live. I wanted to bring you on and just have you tell us what you did well and what you want to change next time with your event. Jeanette, are you there?
I was muted.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. So I found out after I got back that they were having a October fair at a local right outside our community. So I was able to get on, sign up. They allowed me to do it, even though there was another CBD booth there. They still let me have mine, and I had to buy a tent. So all that I had to get ahead of time, and my husband, bless his heart, helped me set it up the morning of. But what I was saying is I got these cards on the back office that say name, address, phone number, what you're interested in. And that really made a difference. It didn't have as much traffic at the fair as they had hoped for. And some people weren't interested at all. And I also got my new business cards from Zalise that I was able to put my picture on. So I passed out a lot of those. I had people fill these out, and just there was interest. I even had one young lady who, she has a friend that does MLM, and we were talking about networking just to see how her business is going. And she said, oh, well, girl, we'll just have to have you over to the house and have a live event. We'll have you do a party at my house. So she has 4 kids. I don't know when that's going to happen, but the fact that she offered. And then I had another quote unquote glow party that only one person showed up to today. But so I sold a little product yesterday. I sold some product today, but that's big for me. I haven't done anything. And so I feel really good.
Really proud of you, Jeanette. And I think to me, the biggest act of courage in this business is when you take a bold move without your team. When you're the first and the only, there's a funny
even my main support often is Kristen, who's not on my team, but she's in California, so she couldn't help me this week. We live an hour and a half apart, so it's not like we can get together all the time. But yeah, it was really, it's been good. It's been hard though, like you said, attitude to kind of keep going back to it's numbers. The more you contact, if I get discouraged that I invited like 15 people and one person showed up, I could easily think, oh, what the heck, but I just keep bringing it up to people, and I keep up thinking now of other people. And I have to tell you, Lisa, I'm approaching this different from when I did in 2018. I was trying to sell product, not sign people up. Now I'm not getting anybody signed up. That's been hard, but I realized to do the business, I can't just keep nickel and diming myself down to try to make it what I think is affordable for people. And right. I made that switch, and I'm starting to see that I don't apologize about the price as much. I still do sometimes.
Well, and I think we need to still change some of your self-talk on that. I think Steve and Todd would probably agree with me. So you can and you will sign people up, and you're signing up people are looking for you. People are looking for this life-changing business and this product line, and you're just going to speak that like Jenny talks about.
Okay. So I need to get on Jenny's call. I've just been really busy. So
yeah, no, that's one that you just can't miss. But I just want you to know that I was very, very proud of the efforts, the actions that you've taken. It all starts with us individually. And in many cases, it's the scariest part. When I first started, I just didn't want to do it alone. So I drug Angela and Judy Carver with me. And they were just my buddies that just said they'd follow me anywhere, and they didn't really even know what they were doing. But Angela, I've always appreciated the fact that you've been with me on this journey, and we didn't have to do it alone. So you're starting that, Jeanette. You're going to find the right people as soon as you get the right vibration. So that's a great tip. That what Jeanette is talking about is resources events, and it's it's 4 on a page that Zalise has created. It's a great way we use that at our glow parties. I know Beth Plumlee had those at her glow party, which I'm going to get to that as well. So proud of you, Jeanette. Thank you for sharing on that. The other person I want to recognize, Mary Ellen Ziliak, is on a massive vacation right now, and she's still upgrading people and working. She's on this call. So I just was really proud of her for being able to really create her work around her life. And that's really one of the best things about Zalise, is that you can do this according to your life, not the reverse. So great job on Mary Ellen. Beth and Greg Plumlee. Beth, I want to bring you on. What did you do for the first time this weekend?
I had a glow party at my new house, even though I didn't have any tables.
Oh my goodness.
You didn't let it stop you, did you?
I didn't.
And Beth, one of the things that I was so almost a little bit emotional about is I met you and Greg, a year and change ago. And when I met you, you had massive migraine headaches, and Greg was just ashen. He couldn't really move at all. He felt horrible. He was a type 1 diabetic for his whole life, had multiple chronic health conditions. And to see what has transpired since your time in Zalise, do you want to just comment on that?
Oh, it's changed our lives, and our friends that came to the glow party, we were talking about it as well. And that's kind of brought them into it, just seeing the transformation. And even since we've been on glow, it's even amped up even more. Like Greg just zips all over the place now, and it's been a life changer.
And
absolutely.
Speaking of, I know it's a little bit of a sensitive topic just because not everybody has glow yet, but what are you guys experiencing? And I'm going to kind of talk about that in a minute, is how do we get our glow here in Arkansas? But talk about just what the results you guys have experienced so far, Beth.
Just, you mean Greg and I?
Yeah.
Just more energy. It just added benefits from what the ultrasound. Sleep, better sleep. It's like you've got all the energy you need through the day, but then you start getting a little tired at night. And normally that's not me. I'm like going till 11:30, midnight. But it really does. And we even had at our party, had somebody ask, they said, how can that product do that? How can it make you have energy and then help you sleep at night? And so I put Lisa on the spot with that question. So,
yeah, it's pretty amazing what the actually activating the endocannabinoid system with THCV and CBDV. And I've written an article. It's actually posted on Team Unlimited, and it's kind of a 5-minute read. It's pretty easy, but doesn't go into detail because that's what the white paper will do. But anybody who's not been able to read that or get it, I've had really good results with sharing that with people. So thank you for that. And one of the people I really do want to recognize is Pat Poole. She and John, her husband, live in Van Buren, Arkansas, which is about an hour from here. And she called me a few weeks ago and said, listen, we're willing to drive 5 hours to Dallas to go pick up our product. Do you want us to pick up yours? And I'm like, sure, and literally then it kind of cascaded from there, and the word got out a little bit, and they had their car full of glow. And that's where Beth got her. So we literally met in Van Buren, ate our last buffet meal at Western Sizzlin'. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is because it was very disappointing. We were supposed to do that on a Friday. And Zalise was really honest. They're like, we've had problems with this supplier. It's the first time that we've used this supplier. They have not been transparent about the timeline. And therefore I had to call Pat and say, Pat, you were going to go down Thursday night, you were going to spend the night and then go early in the morning, go pick up our stuff on Friday and come back, and you can't go because it's not ready. And it wasn't ready until that Monday. And so it was 3 more days before we could actually go pick it up. And Pat, who has the most positive attitude, she said, no problem. She said, there's just a reason why we didn't go on Friday. And that was really her response to that. And therefore, they went Monday, and we still got it ahead of 90% of people. And so I just want you to know, I recognize the fact that you guys don't have glow in your hands, not all of you. Initially, it was supposed to be people who were at Fall Fest, got their first orders, then the people who were on virtual, and then everyone else. And I just think that they have just struggled with the process. So I appreciate your patience tremendously. We will all have it, and we will all be glowing. The question came up about the October 25th challenge. That can be started anytime, so don't stress if you don't have your glow. We have until February to complete that. So, and we can talk more about that. But also want to recognize Christy Popovich, who's a newer ambassador from Arizona, did a 3-way call with me. She texted me and wanted to introduce me to someone, which is what the team is for. And Valerie Whistler said, I've had life happen for 2 months. Would you do a Zoom strategy call with me and help me reignite? And then also we've had another ambassador from Memphis, Dana, who did the same thing. And so that is really what our highest and best use is to really help each of you guys, wherever you are, to move forward, because our job, you guys, is creating volume. That's the way we measure it, but it's really the internal change that Jenny talks about. That's the benefit. It's not the $1 million that you're going to create. It's the person you become in the process. And so as a result, I want to just finish with recognition of the leaderboard, because these are the people who said, by gosh, I don't care if I've got my glow. I don't care if I can see my volume. I'm committed to creating volume, and I'm going to show you. And so I want to recognize Cynthia Wiggins, number 23 from Michigan. She's on the leaderboard. Cynthia and Dan, I'm really proud of it. Cynthia's a dentist. She's busy. She does this in the very cracks of her time. So Cynthia, we're so proud of you. Kenya Chastain from Alabama. She is number 20. So really proud of Kenya. She's brand new in Lisa Hall's team. And then number 18, Shelly Johnstone from Arkansas. So proud of Shelly and Mark. She is just on fire. And Beth, she's on Beth Plumlee's team. They actually have a glow party scheduled for Thursday at a salon there in Northwest Arkansas. So really proud of those guys. Number 8 is Mercy Jatobu. She's in California. You guys know Mercy. Really proud of Mercy. And I've just got to tell you guys, Mercy, she just schedules calls with me. I mean, I've only met her at Fall Fest, but literally she'll text me and go, hey, are you available at like 8 a.m. on Wednesday? That's 6 a.m. her time. And we just do call after call together, and just really proud of just the consistency, because Jeanette, you were talking about the numbers. It's just the number of exposures. We never know who's going to say yes and who's going to say no. And when you have enough people on your list, you really don't care. You just give everyone the opportunity. So shout out to Mercy. Hal and I are number 6. Woo! And then Lisa Hall is hanging in number 3 in Arizona. And we have a number 2 who's brand new to the top 5, and that is Melita Crutcher from Florida. So Cyndy Alvarado, I want you to come on and tell us about Melita. Can you unmute, Cyndy? Cyndy, you're muted. There you go.
She's here somewhere.
Melita, are you here? I don't see her.
She was on the other call.
Okay, well, you're going to have to be her
Okay.
spokesperson.
She's my best friend, has been since we were little bitty, 5 or 6 years old. And she got excited about this with the glow. And well, she was excited before, but the girl is on fire. She has gone through everybody she's ever signed up as a wholesale customer and upgraded them to bronze now.
Awesome.
And
Great
she
strategy.
does not have her glow yet. Hers has not shipped, but she doesn't care.
You know, that's badassery. No, don't quote me on that, but I'm just saying, that is real courage.
It is. It is. I'm so proud of her.
And Cyndy, tell us just, how did you pull Melita into the business? Because, you know, she's been in for a while and we maybe heard from her just a little bit, but how did that happen?
She and I were working for the same weight loss company, and it was going nowhere before COVID and fell off the cliff during COVID. And she struggled through that, but she was not making any headway, and she was just beating her head on the wall. And I said, girl, you got something else we need to do. So we switched her to this. I mean, she still works at the other company, but we put her in this so she'd be able to walk away from that. I think she just did this. I think she just accomplished it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So she's really taking massive action right now. And I know
Yes.
that it's better when you have somebody on your team who's igniting than even when you do it yourself. Would you agree?
Yes. Yes.
And Cyndy, have you gotten your glow yet?
I have gotten mine, and Lauren has gotten hers.
Okay, great. Well, you guys,
But I still have 2 out.
okay, look for this week to be the week that Glow is really going to ship. But again, I appreciate everybody's patience on this, and just know it's going to get there. We've been on ours about 4 days now, and it's been really interesting to know just a more consistent energy. I feel like my sleep has been much deeper, and I really like the way it makes me feel. So
You have no
Angela.
idea how difficult this is. We got ours on Thursday, but we're going to get blood work done tomorrow morning, 3 of us, before we start. So
That's
we're
awesome.
starting tomorrow.
Well, okay, I can't wait to hear about it. Angela, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I got mine on Saturday morning, ripped it open quickly, sprinkled it in my mouth, put my clothes on, and went out and started delivering. Mainly I got my first gold that came in just 1 box, but I also loaned out quite a bit of that to my team who had not received theirs yet.
Yeah.
So I can feel the energy, and I can also feel the sleepiness. And when I go to sleep, I think I might even be sleeping better than I do with dream, which is saying a lot.
Wow, that's awesome, Angela.
Right.
I'm glad you
Glad
got.
to get it.
Thank you for sharing. Anybody else, you guys? That's really what I wanted to share tonight, and to keep it short and sweet. I can't emphasize the importance of just maintaining that positive. Remember, as that energy is flowing to and through us, I always think at the chart, we've got the positive, we got the negative. Always look for that silver lining. Just in terms of even house, sickness this week, that there have been some really good things that have resulted from that. So with that, I'm going to turn off the recording and allow you guys to have any questions or comments.